Welcome to Luke's Vintage RC. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. It's a dedicated RC car channel that we're restoring vintage RC cars, trucks, boats. We like to do some custom builds around the holiday season, and we'll do new builds as long as it has a vintage tie-in. So what we got right here is something quite special. This is a 2005 Radio Shack 1969 Mustang 302, Boss 302. These are amazing RC cars. It actually has a collab with this one. So this car, and there's also a 69 Camaro that I did on the channel that was released around 2005 of November, right before the big holiday. And they would team up with Motor Trend magazine and Hot Rod magazine and kind of collab with the Power Tour thing that was going on to create some really memorable RCs. And I think they hit the nail on the head with that. I had a lot of fun when I restored and built up my friend's 69 1/6 scale Camaro on Luke's Vintage RC. So definitely check that video out. I had a blast doing that one if you haven't seen it yet. And my goal was to do this one. There was two of these cars. They would do this one and then the Camaro with Motor Trend collab and Radio Shack. And now I got this one to do, and I turned it into I think turned it into the best I could do as far as my skill level is to make it better, and I think I did. When I got this car, I think I paid $75 for it. It was kind of crazy priced for what it was. There was no radio, no box, or anything like that. Then I looked up the value of these, and these are quite expensive now, nearly 20 years old. But I can see why people go bonkers over these cars because there's potential here. Now, the article, I'm going to show you the article from the magazine from Motor Trend. It kind of gives you a little bit of some information about this car and the Camaro. I'll show you that right now. So just super cool, right? I don't know how often you'll see that from another manufacturer that puts their stuff into a different magazine. I just think it's great, especially a toy kind of / hobby car. Super cool. So I can see the value of these. I think these are only going to go up in value, actually. So we did a lot to this car. This one's now got lights right there. They don't come with lights. Only the 6 scale Camaro does. There's the tail. Also, we needed to make some accents a little bit better on this car, and that was to open up the blower actually. So now the blower is open. It was just closed off plastic before, and we got rid of a big giant plastic bumper that probably removed about half the weight by itself. Quite a heavy little thing. We put in a Futaba servo. Let's see, where's all the stuff? All right, so we put a 3003 Futaba servo in it, a 1060 Hobby Wing ESC. We added a 2.4 gigahertz radio to it, a 12-turn 550 brush motor. So it's got a big old motor in the back now, or it's kind of in the back. It's actually mid motor. And like so, we did the lights. We did a lot of stuff to this car. Touched up some of the paints that was scratched up on it, polished it up a bit. I mean, I even put different wheels and tires on this car later in the video. You'll see, just to drive it and see how it drives. It drives fine with them as well. So I had some HPI 1/10 scale racing wheels and tires. Fit perfect on this car. You can actually take the wheels off with a Tamiya tool. So that's awesome. So typically it had a 540 motor in it, and it did have a proportional radio, but old-timey circuit board, and a kind of a cheapy servo style. So got rid of all that stuff and put some good stuff in it now. So it rips. This is no joke. This car is pretty quick, faster than you think it is. I'll put it that way. You'll see it in the video. And I had a blast doing this car. It was not super complicated to do. Anybody could do this thing, and not a lot of money. I didn't put a lot of money in this car. This at the time for Radio Shack, with just those things, would supposedly bring the car to about 1,700 feet per minute, and was supposedly their fastest RC at the time. Although I've seen videos of these cars running, and they look like they're about 16 miles an hour. It does way more than 16 now. You'll see. So super cool. I'm not going to bore you guys to death with this one. We'll probably see this one again in a future video, because I want to do some other upgrades to it. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. So cool. There's the motor. You can see the motor sticking out from the bottom. Just mean in all the right spots. So hard plastic body, great detail. I love it. I'm not going to bore you guys anymore with this stuff. But before we get started, to show you the breakdown of all this and then see the run video, you're going to see the run as well. Consider subscribing to the channel. It would mean the world to me. It would help the algorithm for me to branch out to more people. So people could check out the videos that I have and that I'm making, and see all the great videos to come. Got a lot of good stuff. I mean, all this is great. So definitely consider subscribing and hit the notification bell if you can. And with that, we're going to go straight into what it took to make this bad boy come to life, and we're going to drive it. Let's go start right now. Alrighty, guys, here it is, the Radio Shack Mustang. This is the Hot Rod, or Hot Rod Power Tour Motor Trend one from the early 2000s. So let's flip it over. It's 1/10 scale. It's in pretty good shape. It's a couple little scratches here and there. Let's see if I can get this thing opened up. I might not even have the right. Oh, dude, I do have it. That's one switch. I'll just open up. All right, there we go. Okay. Let's unbolt it and then see what we're working with. My goal is to change out the motor and put in a servo in here, and add 2.4 gigahertz radio and see what she's like. Let's see what we can do. All right, there it is, all opened up pretty much. We'll get working on the transmission in just a second, but this is what it looks like when you take the center shell off. This is actually your support for your top of the shocks. Otherwise, there's no support there. So this actually has a little piece of cardboard. Let's pop this off real quick. So funny. That's the protector. All right, there it is. There's the old board that's going to be removed. It even had a little spider web right here. So let's go ahead and pull this out, get the old servo out, and see if we can at least get a new servo in. And then we'll remove the transmission and motor out of there. All right, so the transmission's opened up. I've got the motor out, heat sinks off of it. I'm not going to try to even bother trying to get that pinion off because those are pressed on. I do have a spare pinion. That's a 12 32 pitch. So 32 pitch pinion. And I do have a brand new motor here to use as its replacement motor. It's a 12 turn by 50, so a bit more torquey. And it does have a little bit more RPM as well. I might even go to this one. I have a spare one of these motors, but if I can use this one, that's what I want to use. Just trying to get this thing up to about 18 miles an hour or more would be great. If I can't, then I'll experiment with this one. Maybe we get more speed. I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and install the new motor and see what happens. All right, so there we have it. Motor's installed. I'm gonna try to get away without using this back end. And this is the kind of like a heat sink that came with the motor. Don't think I'm gonna use that either. This excess. This here sort of keeps the dust and stuff out of the motor, but I don't know. I kind of like it without it. So if it seems to be a problem, I'll add it in. And that's pretty much it. We're gonna wait for our solder to heat up, and then I'll put some leads on it, and then we'll bolt it back to the chassis, and then we'll work on the steering part. All right, so there we have it. Got the electronics in. They're a little beeping. They're flashing right now. Made a cavity so I could slip everything in here, and made a little hole for the wires. I wouldn't be too worried about right here because when you put the body on it, it holds the wires pretty nice and snug against the chassis. The wires fit in here pretty good. You can actually use the existing on and off switch if you want to keep your ESC in here. I'm probably not going to leave this ESC in here forever. I need to use it for other projects. But I may make an attachment lead so I can use it an ESC in here. So that's pretty much it. Let's see how we power on and off. Steering seems to be okay. Yeah, got power. We're good. Now let's put the body on it and see what it looks like. All right, so what I want to do now is see about getting rid of this big bumper in the front. I want to display this car sometimes, and I'm probably going to get rid of that. I think it's just an eyesore. So let's go ahead and remove the bumper. We're just going to make our scroll here to follow the line, and I think we'll be all right. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. All right, time for top speed. She's at 0. Let's see what this old girl will do. Right on. Wow. All right. Let's see. Come on in. "29 miles an hour. That's a beast. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go into the run review. All right, now for the run review. So I'm not going to dog the car too much. I really like this car a lot. I want to keep it as a show queen as well. So, but yeah, super stoked at the top speed on this thing. But boy, does it look nice out here. It will light up the rear wheels at any time. I mean, you can barely use full throttle in this car, honestly. And you could definitely flip it, you could break it. It's a bunch of hard plastic. So for it to be nearly 30 mile an hour, I'm pretty happy with it. Man, it looks so good. Well, I think we're going to bring it in. There you go. It's actually leaving black marks on the road. That's amazing. It's a hot rod. Exactly what we wanted. And that's gonna be a wrap on this bad boy. Truly appreciate you guys coming along for the ride on this one. Love it. Knew this one was gonna turn out great. Did not disappoint. A lot of fun. I highly recommend you guys pick one of these cars up if you can. They're a hoot. All right, guys, with that, please hit the like, comment, and I'd love for you to subscribe. Not gonna wanna miss what's coming up next, guys. I promise you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
You've got questions, we've got answers. Batteries not included.